Christmas is coming, and every year, just about every year, well, no, every year, I experience and witness Christmas miracles. It's a miracle that every year I don't completely lose my shit and go ballistic at all my friends and family as to why they are celebrating Christmas at all. Why are they celebrating winter traditions of Yule and the winter solstice in the middle of summer and in the name of Christ? It's bad enough that the Christians appropriated our traditions and named it Christian, but here it's the completely wrong time of the year to be doing any of these things. So for Christians to carry on having Christmas in December just goes to show that they have no deeper understanding of the meanings of the myths of their traditions. Because even if you take the Christian names and stories, it all explains something astrological. But they don't. They go by the Gregorian calendar, the calendar for the slaves, and they go about not understanding why they do what they do. But what's worse than Christians, traditional Christians, is the modern hypocristians. Those who are still heavily Christianized yet claim that they are not religious. The types that don't go to church, they don't have any religious value, but they say things often like, "Oh, Merry Christmas!" Why are you celebrating Christmas if you're not a Christian? I've come to accept that Christmas is a thing. I can't fight Christmas. I used to be on the warpath against Christmas and trying to reclaim everything that is Yule about Christmas, but it's a losing battle, because I'm trying to explain how Christmas is a winter tradition and trying to explain why we do all these things, but then at the same time not be doing it at the time because it's actually the middle of summer where I live. So to try and explain by example is extremely difficult. The best thing I can do is say we're doing Yule when it's actually winter time, and people, my family, come over and they go, "Why have you got a Christmas tree?" I'm like, "I don't have a Christmas tree up, I have a Yule tree up." I don't waste my breath on the Christmas thing anymore. People say, "What are you going to do for Christmas?" I say, "I don't do anything for Christmas. I'm not a Christian." And it's a Christmas miracle when people say, "Oh, but what about your kids? Surely you must do it for your kids." Well, no, I'm definitely not going to be doing it for my children, because this is where the hierarchy of misinformation propagates and perpetuates. "Oh, but your kids will miss out." No, they don't miss out. They still get everything that you associate with Christmas in the middle of winter when we do Yule. In the middle of summer, we celebrate the summer solstice, Letha. And we still give gifts. We just don't put up a Yule tree in the middle of summer. We don't wrap tinsel that's supposed to be emulating and symbolizing snow. We don't do that in our house in the middle of summer. We don't put up winter decorations in the middle of summer. We still have a celebration, but it's nothing called Christmas. But like I said, the Christians aren't the worst. It's the so-called non-religious types who are still Christian. They still say Merry Christmas. They still celebrate Christmas. There's two types of people that celebrate Christmas: Christians and whores. Consumerist whores. Who can't think beyond their programming as to why they are doing what they are doing. They get on their moral high horse and they say, "Oh, Christians are so stupid, those silly God botherers." But then when they're alarmed, they still say, "Oh my God," or "Jesus Christ," when something shocking happens. But they're not Christians, right? Pretty Christianized to me. You still use the words that they tell you. You still think about it without thinking about it. This is worse, in my opinion. This is thoughtless Christian behavior. So if you're not a Christian, why are you saying Merry Christmas? If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, at least you're lucky enough to be able to do Yule or whatever winter solstice traditions you want to call it. You can do that and it's fairly congruent with Christmas. You just don't have to say the words. My grandmother's a devout Christian and she's far too old to bother trying to reason with about religion, and I haven't even tried. I don't want to. No good would come of it. It would only create conflict, which is not unnecessary at this point in her life. Let her live out her years with what makes her happy. She's not a pushy Christian. She doesn't try and push her faith on anyone. Very rarely she says things that around my children that I worry about. But when things like Christmas come around, I don't even have the heart to tell her, no, I don't do Christmas. When she asks me, what are you doing for Christmas? I just say nothing. I'm not doing anything. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. We often have dinner with her, but whether or not she's noticed or not, I don't say Merry Christmas. I'll go over to her house and she says, oh, Merry Christmas, and I just smile. I give her a hug and a kiss, but I don't reciprocate. And people think saying things like Merry Christmas, even though you don't celebrate it, is harmless, but it's not. It's truly not. It's these little subtleties that contribute to mind control, that if you don't overcome them consciously, they will perpetuate subconsciously. And this idea of, oh, well, you must do it for your children. No. Doing it for your children, whilst also keeping these subtleties alive, is what keeps Christianity alive. So if you're not even a Christian, you don't even identify as a Christian, you still breathe life into Christianity by using their words, by cooperating with what is their traditions now. Christian Christmas is their tradition. So you can do Yule alongside Christmas if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and lucky for you, you can. But if you use their words, you're breathing life into their appropriation of our culture. You don't have to force your own, you don't have to push anyone of your own, but don't bow down to their shit. And especially don't allow the mindless consumerist whores who don't even believe in the Christmas force it upon you. Don't feel guilted into celebrating Christmas because everybody else is doing it. This is peer pressure. This is basic teenage shit. Don't give in to peer pressure. No one smoke crack if someone said, oh, everyone's doing it. Don't celebrate Christmas. Don't say, oh my God, when you're shocked. Don't say, Jesus Christ, when something shocking happens. This is Christian conditioning. I've just pulled up at a service station, petrol station. Share a Coke with Santa. I fucking won't be, I tell you that.